going. So the Pixel lineup, right? It's always impressed me, and rightfully so. I mean, from software to computational photography, Pixel has always delivered, but at the same time, it's always had a bit of identity crisis, right? There's an old figure of speech that goes, jack of all trades, master of none, right? We've all heard it, and it can be perceived in a multitude of ways. On the one hand, it denotes versatility, as the subject in question is good and proficient at multiple skills, and on the other hand, it means that the same subject may also be quite average at everything, but not skilled enough to be excellent in anything. This is the classic, quality versus quantity dilemma. Outside of the individuals, this rule can also apply to cell phone manufacturers, where a company will overextend itself to meet, all sorts of different niches with a single product by taking a strategy of just throwing everything at the wall, and hoping just something sticks. Now, this has been the trouble with the Goole Pixel devices over the course of, what is it now, like 4 years? But I think Google has finally realized what the average consumer wants, and I think they've nailed it with the Pixel 5. So smartphones have become outrageously expensive. I mean, you can purchase a Galaxy Fold 2 for right around $2,000, or you can build a full-blown gaming/streaming PC build for less than that, or 3 Pixel 5s for just a bit more. There's just something wrong there. Now, sure, Galaxy Fold has, all the latest and greatest features jam-packed into a foldable device. The Pixel 5, right? You can easily consider that like a mid-ranger, but I promise you'd be hard-pressed to find a difference in day-to-day performance up against that Galaxy Fold. Now, instead of this year's Snapdragon 865 or 865 Plus, Google's opted for the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G. It forms the super mid-range tier of Qualcomm's mobile chipset portfolio, pushing the envelope of mid-tier performance. The processor is paired up with 8 GB of RAM, and the Pixel 5 breezes through tasks from browsing the web to gaming. I didn't experience any real slowdown or lag, at least nothing that brings up real concern. Just taking one glance at this year's Pixel device, and you can tell that Google has gone right back to its roots, and that's a great thing. It means that we get back that well-loved rear-mounted fingerprint reader. I swear, that's the only place for a fingerprint reader. It just is so natural. The Pixel is missing a forehead, which means that all the previous sensors for like Face ID and air gestures, they're all gone. Now, I never really got used to using air gestures, and now that everyone is, really masked up, I don't see most people being bummed out that Face ID is gone. Plus, I'll take a rear-mounted fingerprint reader over Face ID any day of the week. Active Edge has also gone away as well, and that's actually really disappointing to me. I use that feature all the time. It just felt so natural to, squeeze your Pixel for Google Assistant. I hope it makes a return in the future. Pixel 5 is perfectly uniform all around this year. It took a while, but they finally caught up with, the new notchless hole punch design, and it makes the Pixel 5 look much better than the previous Pixel 4 or even the 4a, which I loved. You do still get an aluminum body with this year's top-end Pixel, but there's a bit of a catch. Back in the sides of the phone, they're texture coated. It's a material that's overlaid on top of the aluminum, resulting in a grippiness that is satisfying in the hand. And this material overlay has also allowed Google to achieve wireless charging and, of course, reverse wireless charging, allowing you to charge like your Pixel Buds up or another phone. And this isn't really common in aluminum-backed phones, and it's most welcomed. Google continues to be the market leader in adaptable point-and-shoot photography in most lighting conditions. On the back, you've got 2 shooters. The Pixel 5 has your standard 12.2 megapixel camera alongside a 16 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Gone is that telephoto camera for optical zoom, Instead, Google is relying on its super red zoom technology, which is a type of digital zoom that is arguably capable of matching a 2x optical zoom. But beyond that, you've got limits. Now, to no surprise, we've known this for a while, still photos are fantastic, full of detail and color, excellent contrast, and even down into difficult lighting, it does a great job. Dim settings, low light, it doesn't matter. But like I said, it's no surprise. The ultra wide camera is in line with, the best of the competition. I will say it's a bit softer on detail than the main camera. Google's excellent night sight is now triggered automatically in low light, and it can be used on all the cameras and even while using portrait mode, which makes it easy to capture portraits in low light scenarios. It's safe to say that Google is still one of the best options when it comes to mobile photography. The video side of things, it's never really been the Pixel's strong point, but rather its downfall. Google's actually trying to fix that this year, and they're offering video shooting up to 4K 60, I believe, better stabilization, and they offer other significant improvements, including cinematic pan that slows movement a little bit and stabilizes the frame for a real movie-like pan. Samsung and Apple phones, however, still are better for video, but Google is working on catching up, and they're starting with the Pixel 5. So the Pixel 5 is rocking Android 11. With that, we've got some useful features, things like dark mode, quick controls, and a built-in screen recorder, which is just awesome. Now, we've seen those features for a while now. Android 11's been rolling out on a variety of different devices, so it's not all new. But there are some new features, something called Hold For Me, which essentially allows Google Assistant to take your place when you're, taking a call and you're on hold. And it notifies you when a real person is back on the line. Super useful. I absolutely love this new feature. Obviously, you've still got to be somewhat close to your phone when it actually notifies you, but at least we can avoid that shitty violin and piano music. I love it. One of the Pixel 4's biggest flaws, it's been addressed this year, and that's the battery life. The 4 wasn't terrible for me. It was actually quite okay. But I know a ton of people that just had big complaints regarding the 4's battery life. The Pixel 5 offers incredible battery, and that's mostly thanks to Google, axing off those sensors for, air gestures, Face ID, all that. And also the much welcomed bump in battery capacity, now at 4,080 milliamp hours. And trust me, it makes for huge improvements. I can't say my normal day-to-day usage is heavy, as I mostly use iPad Pro for most things, but for this review, I ditched the iPad and I relied strictly on the 5 for everything. Now, for the record, I did force the 90 Hz refresh rate in the developer settings on the Pixel 5 from day one, as I did with the 4. Now, I was easily able to get through an entire day with even some battery left over. And you know what? It shows that Google is learning from the hardware mistakes of its past, and that can only be a positive thing. Well, I'm Yeti Machete. Drop a like, definitely a comment, and I don't know, maybe subscribe. Did you know that Google's first office was a rented out garage? That just shows that we all start somewhere. Anyway, I'm signing off. Catch you guys in the next one.